What's going on? I'm Anoki the One, and I'm back with another video. And this video is about how Juneteenth is not a black holiday. Not black in the way that we think. I'm gonna break this down to you because all day I have felt something stirring in my spirit. I'm very connected to my ancestors, and my ancestors have been leading me and guiding me to so much information. Okay? I knew my whole life. I'm from Texas. A lot of y'all don't even know that Juneteenth is a Texas holiday. A lot of y'all didn't know Juneteenth existed until this year because everybody, we're in a time where they're really trying to promote blackness for their own gain. When I say they, I mean the elite. Y'all know how I do on this is red pill language. You know what I'm talking about. So I was led to this information, and it makes so much sense. This is the raggedy story that they tell us that Juneteenth is. And I always knew it was raggedy, and I never understood why we just blindly just took that and ran with it and thought that that made sense. They tell us that Juneteenth happened because basically the slaves in Texas didn't know that the rest of the country was free, and so when some white person came through the town and announced, "Oh, you're free, guys," then we all had a celebration, and that's Juneteenth. We had a celebration because we just found out that we was free. We didn't know we was free. That's what they told us. This is the stuff. This is why I be so upset, because I've been studying black history, real black American history for the past 10 years. And there is so many stories like this where it is whitewashed, where it is foolishness, where there are elite people laughing at us for tap dancing because we think that this is true. And it's foolish. Okay. This is what actually happened. And this should give you a lot of thought to what your ancestors said, your grandparents, your parents, when they say you're mixed with Indian, you're mixed with almost every black person I know. I'm from Houston. Everybody says they're mixed with Indian and don't even understand what that really means. Okay. On June 19th, 1865, General Granger, pay attention to how totally different this story is. Granger announced the end of slavery from the balcony of the Ashton Villa in Galveston, Texas. Okay, a date referred to as Juneteenth. Galveston Island was a slavery empire founded by French pirate Jean Lafitte. He was financed by two brothers, Jewish traders, Joa and Marin de la Porta. They were known as Karankawa traders. Okay, you're gonna find out what Karankawa are, and you're gonna see how they manipulated us in our history. Traders and supercargoes for Lafitte, growing incredibly wealthy and disseminating the Indian population, all called Karankawa and subsequently deemed and sold as African or Negro slaves for the booming cotton trade. Galveston was not just a random or haphazard place picked to announce the emancipation of slaves in Texas. It was a territory harboring a slave trading empire that refused to give up its practices and broke away from Mexico because slavery had been abolished, and insisted Texans free all slaves within 6 months of settlement. The secession produced the Republic of Texas. General James Long aimed to liberate Texas from Spanish rule and formed a slave laundering venture with Lafitte, a Gulf of Mexico pirate. The importation of slaves into the United States had been banned since 1808. However, this is going to give you information to what's going on right now. It was legal to buy and sell slaves who were already in the country. Lafitte's gang would capture indigenous Texans from its coast, who were cinnamon colored with Negroid features, as well as from ships in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. They smuggled them either to Lafitte's base at Galveston in Texas or to the Bowies I don't know if I'm saying that, Bowie Island in Vermilion Bay, west of New Orleans. Did you just hear what I just said? They captured native indigenous Texans who are cinnamon colored with Negroid features and hair. That means look like this. Look like I'm looking right now. Okay. They would capture Texans and ship them, launder them back and forth through the border. They would take people from the Caribbean and take them back and forth through the border. Did I say African? Did I say African American? I said cinnamon colored indigenous people from Texas, Karankawa. Okay, you can look this stuff up because if you don't know the terms to search, it's going to be hard to find out this information. Now, when people talk about the border today, I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm in Houston, Texas right now. This is a Texas holiday. They talk about all this stuff. Oh, they don't teach this in school, and you know this is a national holiday. Yes, it's a national holiday, but the lie, y'all thinking, oh, you know, there's just a bunch of black people just being slaves, and all of a sudden some white man rides in a horse and was like, y'all free, and then you were like, oh, we free. No, that's not what was happening. Okay, that's not what was happening. Okay, these people was trying to go around the rules of the transatlantic slave trade, and this is what they were doing the entire time. They're going to different lands in this huge landmass and finding people that look like me. Okay, they're going to capture them and also know that there was a fight. Okay, these indigenous people in Texas, and some of y'all, people that I know from Houston, if your family has been here for hundreds and hundreds of years, y'all probably Arawakas. Some of y'all Arawaka Indian or different indigenous people from Texas, okay? They were fighting each other, okay? They were captured. If they lost, they'd get captured. They'd become slaves. They would be taken through the slave trade. They would be taken to different parts of the United States that they had never been. Okay, Texas is huge. Do you hear me? Another point. Going back through the border. Okay, now we have a lot going on with the border, and also we have a lot going on with the fact that Trump was talking about, was going to have the rally, his first rally, in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Juneteenth. So now, you know this history. Do you need to rewind it? Rewind it. They were smothering indigenous Texans, indigenous people, back and forth through the border of Texas, of Galveston, back and pirates through the ships, going back and forth through the border. Okay? Do you get the connection that I'm saying? For trafficking of humans as slaves. Look like me, okay? Look black. Okay? I hope y'all get this right now. Okay? Now, we know that there have been all kinds of black people in general, going missing. Where do you think these people are going? Okay? We know that people can come through the border at any time right now, or in history, and go back and forth to the border with no papers. We don't know who they are. We don't know who their parents are. We don't know if these people that are bringing them over here are actually their parents, and if they are instead being kidnapped and taken as cargo, because organ harvesting is a huge business. Sex trafficking is huge in Houston. Houston is one of the #1 cities for sex trafficking. There is an underground tunnel system in Houston, Texas. One of the largest underground tunnel system in Houston. There are railroad tracks all up and back and through Texas, Houston, Texas. Think about this. And I just had a long conversation. Somebody on my Instagram, 3 hours. I know this was led, this was guided. I didn't know how it would pop off today, but this is perfect. Okay. What are they doing with trains in 2020? Okay, are they really just shipping back and forth? Like, when was the last time you rode on an old school train? They are they are trafficking human people. They are trafficking human beings on these trains. Okay, they're easily able to go back and forth through the border. Juneteenth literally represents that. We don't know our history. They told us this bullshit about, oh, well, people in pictures didn't know. They just rode down in the horse, because you know there's no TVs and cell phones. They just rode down in the horse and told us that we're free. We had a whole jubilee. We tapped that. We don't know our history. We need to know our history, people. We got to. So the whole thing with Trump, he has been fighting a war to get these pedophile human trafficking. It is in the government. It is interwoven in the government. Do you understand? Do you hear what I'm saying? The FBI and the CIA are all in on this agenda to traffic human beings. It never ended. It never stopped. They're using the exact same place, Texas, the exact Galveston, the border, the southern border. They're using the exact same place since Juneteenth to traffic children, Mexican children, black children, white children, Chinese children, every kind of grown person. All these people that are protesting and going missing, okay? All these random people that y'all don't know, Antifa people that came out of nowhere on buses.
Why would buses line up in the same place and drop people off? Some of the people got on Black Lives Matter shirts and some people got on KKK shirts. Now, when have you ever seen someone with a KKK shirt? Now, we know we see people with Black Lives Matter shirts, but when have you ever seen someone in a KKK shirt? And then look, she said these buses were bumper to bumper, dropped everybody off and took off. All the buses were the same. It was well orchestrated.
They might just be coming through that border and dropped off there. You don't know these people, okay? You don't know how they've been programmed. You don't know what they've been through. Do you understand? Y'all gotta wake up now. It's time to wake up. See, I've been trying to be real careful about what I say and when I say it, and because people are real emotional right now. People are real I told y'all a long time ago, all these protests is so y'all can run out there and get snatched up. Y'all upset about the border talk when y'all don't really understand history. You don't understand what's happening right now. I walk down the street and I guarantee you at least one time I am going to see some kind of human trafficked person, either in sex trafficking, human trafficking, and I wouldn't even know. Children are going missing, people. Children are gone. They're not talking about this in the media. Now they're blowing up Juneteenth because they have given us this foolish story that makes no sense. The story that I just told you, knowing that story actually helps you know what's happening in the world. That's the real history that they don't want us to know. They don't want us to know that majority of what they call black people, just like what they do with these Arawakas, Karawaka Indians, they said, oh, these people look like some niggers. That's what they said in the book. They look like niggers. These people were living their lives, their best lives. They had towns, they had civilization. They tried to make indigenous people like uncivilized people. Nah, they had things together. These fools come over here and like, oh yeah, let me trade y'all. Let me fight y'all and capture y'all or befriend y'all, right? Like they still do today. You're sending your children off on a school bus with some strangers, okay? The daycare with some strangers, the sporting events with some strangers. And they just so happen to disappear. You don't know what happened to them. And the people at school is like, oh, I don't know. No. Y'all need to know what's happening, okay? Y'all need to know what's happening. So, Juneteenth, I knew something was going on. But this is a simple example of why I support Trump. Am I a Trump supporter? Do I trust the man? I don't know. But everything that he's done so far, done. Because people always talk about saying. And guess what? The media can, just in the same way that the media can manipulate you to think that Juneteenth is a holiday where some white man rode in a horse into Texas and finally, after a year or so, after everyone else was free of slavery, told y'all, these other slave black Africans that were brought here from Africa, told y'all, and y'all just tap dance jubilee. Just like the media can have you believe in this, and the school system can have you believe in this, right? They can twist people's words around and all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, look here. This is a very significant, Juneteenth is about trafficking humans through the border. It's about the fact that there's no restriction on purpose, because it is the most lucrative trafficking of human beings, of children, of humans, for human capital, for working in slavery all across the world, okay? For sex trafficking, for organ harvesting. In China, your body is worth $1 million. Okay? If you go to a protest and you just so happen to disappear and you end up in China, your organs are worth $1 million. Know that. Know that there's a huge $1 trillion incentive for you to be rushed to the hospital for coronavirus, for you to be rushed into the protest. Right? The protests for George Floyd, the rally for LGBT is being promoted, but at the same time, the Trump rally, they're concerned about the COVID-19 risk. But at the same time, y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to pay attention. Y'all need to learn some real live history. Now, this is a real live history lesson. I want to start giving history more, because this helps Caribbean people understand more what's going on, how they all ended up here, some of y'all. Mexicans help y'all understand what's going on. Because if you're a Mexican, you're born in Texas, and the only, you're born in, the United States, and the only history you know is the history that they told you, that they lied to you about, you would be upset that Trump wants to build a wall, because there's racist Democrats that want you to believe some bullshit that's not true, okay? When in reality, people are being trafficked back and forth. People are being brought over here and used as slaves in America in 2020. And Juneteenth, the real history of Juneteenth, lets you know exactly how that happens, lets you know exactly how that's possible. There is a tunnel system. There is an underground city of Houston, in Houston. You can look this up. Okay? Now I'm gonna need y'all to do some research. DuckDuckGo, not Google, because there is a active lawsuit against Google, Facebook, Obama, the Clintons, Joe Biden, they're getting sued. Cyrus A. Parsons.
What they need to do, they need to say, hey, it's enough. They've done mass genocide. They've killed people for their organs. We can't do business with a country that's actually killing their own people. Not only are we complicit, but we're in a sense, we're helping them by doing business with them. That's a regime that's known to have killed over 100 million people in the past 70 years alone, through starvation, through enslavement, through murder, through mass campaigns. And they've known to organ harvest people. So how can you trust a regime that lies to the whole world, making $1 million per body, and advertise for the world to fly down? The whole world needs to expose the Chinese Communist regime. They really do.
Stuff is popping up. Y'all don't even know what's going on. Y'all need to just sit down. Sit down. If you don't know what's going on, sit down. Chill. All right, I'm out. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you on the next video.